What's up, guys? It's Matt here. So we need to talk about AMC yet again. Obviously, this is the topic of conversation. Everyone's talking about this position, especially, obviously the people that I talk to personally on YouTube, Discord group. Everybody's talking about what AMC is actually doing. It closed at $32.04, up 22% today. So we needed to get into a lot of things, understand the new shares that were added, understand the the recount, and really break down what happened with the price action. So before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one. And make sure that you get your free stocks with Webull down below. Don't forget to check out some of the links in the description. It does help out the channel as well as following some of my other channels. Now, I'm sorry if I cough throughout this, or if I seem like, I'm nasally or at any time, because sinuses are just messing up. A lot of, allergies and stuff. But we need to talk about AMC. So first, let's get into what the price action was. Then we could break down, the new shares that were added, that were sold, and we can also get into the share recount. So we'll do it in a bunch of sections here, 3 sections. But we look at what happened today. In the pre-market, we had a large jump from $25, jumped all the way up to $29, and did drop down pretty quickly. It did increase right away and then decreased again, but we saw a large rally towards the end of the pre-market. Continued on the way up, didn't really have any type of dip until we got to about 5 minutes to where it was about to open, which we typically do see. If we see a large rally, a lot of times we're going to see that dip somewhere around 10 to 5 minutes to open, and we've seen that happen. And when we opened, we did decrease down to about $28, where some people said they actually bought in and they bought this dip. So I'm happy to say that I kind of led them the right way. Now, it did end up decreasing a little bit more than that, down to about $28.53 after rallying a little bit. So a lot of fluctuation, but it did create it created a lower high if you're looking at this. So you had that lower high that it created that lower low. We were waiting for it to break that trend. It created that not lower low. It ended up being a little bit slightly higher high, and then still having that lower low while creating that higher high up here. So we were looking for it to create higher highs and higher lows. And which it did end up doing that. It started to do that here. You could see that creating that higher high, higher high, higher high. Obviously, this is a higher high. And stair stepping on the way up, creating this ascending level of support here. Now, after it did get to about $33.53, it fell quite aggressively. You've seen 5.6 million shares go through at this moment after seeing that large increase, and it pretty much gave up all gains that it had at that point. All gains that it had from this candlestick on. It gave up all of those gains and fell down a little bit, started to level out to where it actually looked like it was slowly increasing rather than the rapid increases that we were seeing previously. But either way, we finished in a good note. We finished above $30, which I was hoping we would do. When I was reviewing it for the MP Shorts channel, I believe we still had like 15 minutes, and I thought we were going to see it drop below 30. That's typically what they would do. But right now, we're actually seeing it up at 32. In the after hours market, it's even still above 30 as well. So ultimately, it was not a bad day. We finished higher than the previous close. We also finished higher than where it opened. So I'm really happy with that. Now, it wasn't a crazy amount higher than when it opened, but it is higher, and I like seeing that. So volume, we had 475 million shares worth of volume, which is definitely high, on the higher side. We've seen a lot of sell volume. I wouldn't be surprised if we're back up to the 30% mark when it comes to shorted shares, because it seems like they were shorting. It wasn't necessarily just whales that were selling off, but I'll get into something else as well when we get into the 8 million shares that were added. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the price action. Let's actually take that leap into those shares that were added. So we got confirmation this morning that I guess 8 million shares were sold to, I forget what the name of the place is, but let's check it out here. Mudrick Capital. So 8 million shares was sold, and actually this seems like a true FUD article here. So I know people have seen this, and I don't want to spread any FUD. This seems like a true FUD article, and know that even though they ended up doing what they did, we still ended up being positive on the day and recovering after that fact. So I don't know what price they really sold it at, but basically, to get into the detail, AMC sold shares to Mudrick Capital of 8 million shares, which I didn't even know they had any shares left, and apparently they can just issue shares. So it was kind of weird, and we were talking through this in the, when the market opened, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. They're just trying to raise capital, trying to make sure the business survives, and just giving the company a little bit more of an edge, being able to maybe pay off debts, add it to R&D, add it to, the business model, redo whatever you're looking to do. I think it's a good thing. But basically, Mudrick, in the same day that they actually received those, they ended up selling off, those positions. Now, again, not FUD. I think it's good for them, as paper-handed as they are. They should get out and offer those shares to other people that will hold on to it. Us apes that will hold on to it. So Mudrick Capital sold all the stock in AMC Holdings as of Tuesday, the same day the movie theater chain disclosed that the investment firm had bought 230.5 million fresh shares to bolster. So it's absolutely crazy that they would do that. I understand they're basically going to sell for a profit. Here we go. They no longer hold it, and they sold for a profit. And I understand where they're coming from. They want to sell for a profit, but they have to realize that there's much more into it. Are the hedge funds basically having all of these different, companies and, firms and everything in their back pocket? It's possible. It is possible. So I just wanted to get into that those are available. We should see the share count increase as of, well, we still don't see the adjustment now, because from what I'm looking at in certain areas, you see it says like 450. It should say like 493. So we should see above, 500 million shares. So that's not a bad thing. I'm happy with what happened, because we did see growth, even though they did end up selling off 8 million shares. That's just crazy that they would do it in the same day. But whatever, they can do whatever they want. But let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, because I always want to, discuss that with you guys. But I also wanted to look into the, share recount and talk about that a little bit. Obviously with the count of shares that's out there, the whole purpose of that is to understand who's holding what positions. Is it majority apes? Is it actually to where we have a lot of synthetic shares out there? So we're just looking for a lot of that information to come out, and then it'll really give us a clear picture of what we can expect here. So that's really what I had there. I mean, we don't really have too much information on that. We're just playing that waiting game, really. And I think it's ultimately a good thing, right? Having any type of recount is good, especially when you have that thought of like synthetic shares, naked shorts, all of the things that are going on, the illegal things that are going on, or technically not illegal for hedge funds to do it, but for everyday people, everyday, investors, we can't do something like that. And we get questioned for pretty much everything that we do. So this is going to give us a clear picture of what the actual narrative is and where we can go from here. So let me know what you think about what happened with AMC today. I thought it was a net positive, even though, they ended up, selling some shares. They sold their 8 million shares. That's not a bad thing. I think it's good to get it out of their hands and put it into hands that, can actually use those and will hold those like true apes, like true investors, really. Because we're looking to not only just grow the squeeze, we're looking to also have a long-term future with the company as well. At least I am. I'm looking to basically hold 100+ shares for life. As much as they give me, I'm looking to give them, just as much. And, all of us manning together and doing that, I feel like it's good. So we look at the short volume ratio for Friday. It was at 21%. I would imagine that it's going to be a lot higher for today. just because we've seen some negative activity. We've seen 8 million shares get sold off, and they probably added some shorted shares to that portion so that it would drop. You've seen a large drop, I guess, at that point. So either way, great day. If we go into, the detail here, amazing day, finished above when we opened, also finished above the previous close. So I'm all for it. Let me know your opinion about this. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you get your free stocks with Weevil down below. Don't forget to check out some of the links in the description. It does help the channel out. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next video.